Hello everybody, my name is Sharon George and today I'll be explaining a program to you. So let us have a look at the question first. It's about arrays and how we are going to use array here is, first of all, let us read the question. Write a C++ program using class to process shopping list for a departmental store. The list include details such as the code number and price of each item and perform the operations like adding, deleting items to the list and printing the total value of an order. Note, now this is important, use arrays and data members. Since we are using a class, there will be data members and these data members should be arrays. So that is how we are going to use array into class, right? And it's an interesting topic, like we always go to shops and we see the bill being calculated. So this time we're going to write a program and we will get an insight to how people actually do it, right? How it is actually done in the computer. I've written a program here in code blocks. Let's have a look at the program. So you begin by including the header file, hash include iostream, and then the standard library file. Since I have used certain string functions and certain functions like get, ch, and all, we are using we are including the header files like hash include string and hash include conio.h. We'll get to see where I have used those things later in the program. So I have initialized a variable called maxi of integer data type and it is of constant type equal to 50. This means that the maximum size is 50. Now where I'm using this maxi is I've created a class here named shopping and inside class the data members are item code, item price. See, we are using array of data members. According to the question, this has to be done, array of data members. So maximum items can be 50. For that we have initialized it before as a global variable and as a constant variable above main, right? After that I have also you can see declared a variable called counter and sum here inside the private part of shopping class. That is counter is a variable which will be used to count the number of items being added to the list, and sum is the total sum of all the items, sum of all the item prices, right? So inside public we have used certain functions. First of all, before declaring all the functions, I have declared a constructor here, created a constructor here. The name of the constructor should be the same as that of the class name. So the name of the constructor is shopping here. A constructor is used to initialize the data members. So I'm using this constructor to initialize my two data members, that is counter and sum. So in the beginning counter is equal to 0 and sum is equal to 0. You can also write it another way, the constructor, but basically this is a good way of writing. So we use this. Right. After that, I have used 4 public functions, that is get item, which will be used to get data from the user, display to display the items, display total to display the sum, and remove item if you have to delete any one of the items which you added by mistake. Right. So that is the end of the class. Now we are going to define all the public functions. Since we are defining it outside class, I have used class name and scope resolution operator. So first of all, we begin by defining the get item function. So cout, enter the item code and price. See, now here comes the use of counter. Every time an item gets added, the counter will be incremented. So first it was 0. As soon as one item is added, it will become 1, 2, 3 and so on. So if you don't use a counter, the problem is you will have to keep a limit like 10, 20, 30. But if I'm using a counter, doesn't depend upon me what is the limit that I have given. It depends upon the user. So counter is the best way. You have to use counter here. So I write item counter and item price. Inside this array I have to write counter, right? Every time an item gets added, the counter will be incremented. Okay, fine. Next I will define the display function. So in the display function you just have to display the item code and the item price, right? So what you have to take care in display function is, what if you actually had added one item and then you removed it, which we will be seeing how to remove it. But if you actually removed it, then while displaying it should not display that price, like that item. So what to do for that? You have to take that also into consideration. So I have given a for loop here. So I begin with 0 and so I move up to counter and I increment I. So inside that, if item price of I is not equal to 0. See, if I removed something, that means that price becomes 0. I think we should go on to remove first. and then we will come on to display. Okay, first of all, let me explain the remove item. We will once again come back to display. So here I have declared a, that is a string of data type string, enter the item code. So the user will enter the item code. Now this item code will be matched with the item code of each item present in the list. If it matches with the item code present in the list, that particular item price will be marked equal to 0, right? If it is item price is marked equal to 0, then that item being present in the list is not a matter of consideration, right? So that is how we remove an item, right? So item price of that particular item code will be marked equal to 0. So here when I display, if item price is not equal to 0, then you print that item code and the item price. If it is equal to 0, no need to display that because it has been removed, right? Okay, then the last function, display total. So the purpose of this function is to display the sum, total price. How do we do that? We again begin with the for loop, which will start with 0 and move up to counter. And if item price is not equal to 0, then you have to add, see, we have already initialized it to 0 in the beginning, you had seen using constructor. And so sum is equal to sum plus item price, right? If item price is not equal to 0, then that will be added. If it is equal to 0, that will not be added, right? 0 doesn't make a difference because that item has been removed. So do not need to add the price of that particular item. Then you display the sum, that's it. So now we begin by initializing main here. Now since it's a menu driven program, we are going to construct a menu. Before that, we have also created an object of class order, and you can see I have created a menu here, and then using a do while loop because the menu should be displayed at least once, so I'm using a do while loop here. And I have different cases here. Case 1, that is get item. Since these all are public functions, these can be called outside the class. And how to call it? Using the object. For that purpose, I had created an object called order. So order.get item, break order.display total, which will be displaying the total, then remove item and display, right? So that's it. Let's just build and run and try it. So you can add a maximum of 50 items. We'll just try with 2 items here. I think that will be enough, or 2 or 3 items. Add. So item code is 1 and item price is 20. Another option, yes, I want to add one more. So item code is 2 this time and price is 40 this time. Okay, so according to the total should be 60, right? Let me see if it is. Yeah, total is 60. Okay, great. So the program is working. Now we have another things to check, a lot more things to check. What if I remove one of it? I want to remove the second one. So this time the price should be 20 because if 40 is removed, 20. Let us check if it is 20 or not. I want to display the total. It is 20. That means the program is correct, it's working properly. Let's add one more item, and this time let's see if it is displaying all the items properly or not, which is the 4th option, I guess. Okay, it's perfect. It is displaying the code and the price also. Fine. So that's the end of the program. I hope you understood. It's easy. It is including the concepts of class, and we're using array in the form of data members, array of data members. That's it. Okay. I hope you understood the program. Thank you.